Hey there, welcome back to our channel. It's Billy and Yolanda Jackson. We're Living Peace Marriage, and we are here. You know, I thought I'll bring in the hubby because the last video, the hubby, the husband.
Oh,
the man.
Hubby means husband.
Anyway, in the last video, we asked, should I stay or should I go?
That's a song. You know.
So I was talking to my husband about it and sharing with him, hey, I did this video, I gave my perspective. And how I've asked myself that question twice. I would say 20 years ago, I asked myself that question, and I also had to ask it again 10 or 11 years ago. And so I talked about what I did this second go round. If you did not get a chance to check that video, go back to our page. It's the latest video that we did. So this is kind of like part 2, husband edition. Have you ever asked yourself that question? Should I stay in this marriage or should I go? And I want you to be real honest.
Real honest, no.
Okay.
No, I'm playing.
I'm like, what?
No, it always comes up, especially when we weren't doing well in our times. You always get this in your head. Now I'm gonna leave. I ain't got to do this. I can go somewhere else. Men, women, we always think about, I'm appreciated other places. People like me. You ain't got to like me. We get into all these things and forget that we're husband and wife. We forget that, we're anointed as a husband and wife. Yeah. And we just try to get selfish. And, it comes because it starts off, we dated most of our lives. You know what I mean? We never learned how to be married. But men in general, we get stuck in our ways. We don't have to be old. I was young. When I didn't, I had a routine. I had a set, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to do this on the weekend. Don't tell me I got plans, and that comes with marriage too. So when things get rough, if I don't leave, then I'm not going to fight you because I don't want to get into the argument. I don't want to get into it with you. I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to. Okay, if that's what you say, okay, you got it. Okay, you're right. And it never solves anything. Okay,
so the first thing you said that many men do is take the passive approach.
Right? If we stay, we do.
If you stay, you would take a passive approach to prevent from the arguing.
Yeah.
Whew, which that's a tough situation.
And listen, now I'm talking to you all like, what is the norm? It's normal. In marriages, it's normal, and it shouldn't be, but, people marry and then if they don't like each other, they quit. You know what I mean? And that's not how marriage is supposed to be.
Right, exactly. And I did experience that with you. I would say that you became very passive when I kept, I would say, annoying you and talking to you about this is your problem, this is what's going on with you. And you really took a passive approach, would angered and fueled my frustration. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the one thing that I did learn about this, and this is the reason why we have to sit here and say, Yolanda and I preach about God being in your relationship. We got to put God first, because the thing of it is this. We've always taught that when I look at you, I don't see God. That's how the arguments start. Husbands and wives think they can fix each other and think that this is where the problem is. But if we see God first, then we get it. For me, what happened was I understood that miracles only happen on God's time, not my time.
Okay? How'd you get to that place?
There was a time when I was relaxed at my house and we had an appointment with another couple that I didn't know about. And it was last minute that my wife told me, we got to go see this couple. And I did not want to go. I realized that let's do it. Something in me moved. The spirit moved me. This is the first time. Normally I would have said no. Right. We would have had to call and cancel. But something moved me to say, let's just go. I had already eaten. So we were going to meet this couple to eat, So normally I would say no, but we went and we were blessed with a whole other ministry. We would have missed that blessing if I had been selfish and said I didn't want to do it. So it's not, fellas, it's not our wives telling us and we conforming. And there's nothing wrong with that. The thing about it is God moves us when he's ready for us to move. It doesn't matter how we feel. And if we don't move, we're going to miss the blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if you're at that place, let's say from a husband's perspective, if you're asking yourself, should I stay in this marriage or should I go? I think Billy's saying a couple of things. Don't take the passive approach, right? That's not going to get you to an answer.
Right.
Secondly, you're talking about the miracle works on God's time.
It works on God's time. Yeah.
So that means you can't be in your own time and your own will, right?
Yeah.
So you got to lean into God's time versus your time before you try to make that decision.
There's no magic in this, y'all. There's no magic. Husbands, and I speak from my point of view because I am a husband and a man. When God heals, he not only heals the hurt, but he also heals the foundation of the love.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize this, but when you allow God into your relationship and start taking direction from him, you fall in love with your spouse all over again.
All over again.
And it's because the world tries to drain it out of you. When you don't go to God and you try to do the world, you try to take what the world says about being a husband or what the world says about being a wife, then a lot of things come into play and it takes you away from how you feel about your spouse. But when you go the direction of the Lord, what happens is that feeling is increased in you about your spouse. That's just what God does. God, when he says he's going to bless your marriage, the main thing he's going to do is allow you all to love each other.
Wow.
Okay.
That's good.
And that's important, but you won't get it unless you allow God in your relationship and you be obedient to what he says.
Right.
That day that I didn't want to go to go eat, I look back on that day and that's kind of like the foundation of me saying yes every time I want to say no. Because a huge blessing came that day that I wasn't even expecting. And I can't say I didn't pray about it because I did pray for our ministry to flourish. But we met some great people and we are still going on great journeys with them.
Yeah, still connected to them as well. So we just wanted to just kind of dive into that question. You know, should I stay in this marriage or should I go? And it's not a simple answer. I hope you realizing that now. It's not a simple answer. But I would say that it is a process and you got to get out of your own way in order to really recognize whether you should or not.
Right.
Now, we didn't go dive deep into what the Bible says about it, but definitely work through it is what we are proponents for, encouraging you to work through it, get the help, seek the help that you need right now in order to get to a place where you can answer that question. Then just lean on God and trust in him and rely on him and he will direct your path. And I just want to remind you that God created marriage first. So it's his idea. He meant it to be forever. To death do us part.
And if you don't get it, then find someone that's a mediator between the two of you all that's Christian that can guide you that way. Okay.
They can guide you, and just because what that'll do is help give you a different perspective. A lot of times we get so hung up on our own perspectives because we are believing that they're right. And it's not about, being right. It's about doing what's right.
That's right.
And if you're going to do what's right, then a lot of times you need to be introduced to various perspectives and where you can honor your spouse's perspective. And then that help you get to that answer. So that's what we wanted to share with you tonight, just the husband's perspective when it comes to should I stay or should I go? We have a lot of great teachings and videos that help you maybe uncover some of the things that you may be challenged with in your marriage right now.
I want to leave y'all with one thing. It's really easy to quit. It's really easy to give up. It's really easy to take the easy way out of not communicating, not talking. It's time to start learning how to do some heart work and practice and save these marriages, because the enemy is trying to juice you because he knows that if you guys do it right, you're going to be powerful as a couple.
Right.
You're going to be very powerful as a couple. We can testify to that, of how God is moving in us and allowing us to move and go places we never thought of going.
That's right.
So allow God to do that for you. Give that the chance first.
All right. So we'll see you next time. Make sure you subscribe and like this video. Until next time, live in peace.